Because this video is about context and definitions, I'm going to start with the definition and then some context. What is a woman is a phrase popularized by, unfortunately also a Matt Walsh. Its purpose is to point out the supposed inherent contradiction in trans ideology, and that there is no definition for women that doesn't exclude trans women. Anything else is just a dirty lefty trying to make something up to confuse you because they don't want to get the transes mad at them. I mean, it's obvious what a woman is, right? You just take a look at one and you see, right? Like this one, or this one, or this one. The question has kind of grown beyond its origin and become a slogan in its own right. After all, it's LGBT, not just the T, and it's a whole lot easier to say that you hate trans people than it is to say that you want to eradicate gay people from public society.
Transgenderism must be eradicated from public life.
Make them question the T, and maybe you can get people to question the whole LGB. And that's why you'll see it in the strangest of places, a horde of blue check marks responding, "What is a woman?" to any tweet that Biden makes regarding anything LGBT related, even if it's not even close to anything trans related. The supposed lack of an answer is what makes this question so powerful. If it keeps getting repeated, then there must be no answer to the question, right? No lefty has ever been able to answer this incredibly difficult "what is a woman?" question. Well, that's not entirely the case. So why is the question still repeated? Why is it that right-wingers still believe the question unanswered? It's because it is, or at least it is, unless you're willing to engage someone asking in bad faith and then spend, holy shit, 70 minutes explaining what's going on. What is a woman is not as simple a question as it appears to be. Under the surface lurks something far more important: context. And this ever so important context lurks on the bottom of the ship as it sails to the harbor, the ship being the question, the context being this metaphor is falling apart. What I mean to say is that when someone asks this question, it comes preloaded with context. Context that makes the answer impossible. When someone asks, "What is a woman?" what they're actually asking is, "What is a woman biologically?" Even though the biological part is never said aloud, Matt Walsh has primed his audience to believe that that is included with the question, because what other answer could there possibly be? So when someone in good faith answers with a different definition of the word, say the gender definition, then you reach a situation where Matt Walsh looks at the camera, smirks, and goes, "You didn't answer the question, silly." It's the same thing as being asked, "Have you told your mom you're gay yet?" in the incredibly homophobic early 2000s school life. You learn pretty quick that the being gay part has already been added to the question, and whether you respond yes or no, you admit to the being gay. So the only way to respond is to refute the being gay part. But when you refute the question, you look defensive, as if you can't answer the question. So even though the question itself is nonsensical, it looks like you don't know how to answer, and therefore you either are gay and just defensive about it, or in the case of "what is a woman," you have no definition. After all, why else would you attack the question itself? The point of this question is not to get an answer. The point is to trick those who can be tricked and move on. It's never asked in good faith. If someone was asking in good faith, they wouldn't ask the loaded "what is a woman?" question. They would pretty easily pick up on keys that that's not really a nice question. Instead, they would ask, "What does it mean to be trans?" So what should you do? How do you respond to this question when you see it in the wild? I don't know. And that's the problem with the question. That's what makes it such a great propaganda tool for the right. No matter how you answer, you've lost. If you answer correctly with context, then it seems like you're answering a different question. If you answer without context and just give the gender explanation, well, then it seems like you're not even answering the question in the first place. Because remember, it is inherently meaning biologically. And third, you don't answer and you move on, well, now they just spread hate and there's no pushback, and someone well-meaning who just thinks the transes are kind of weird, hasn't really been explained to yet, now they might get converted. If I had a perfect definition, I wouldn't be here making a YouTube video. I'd be God and I'd be winning the lottery. So in that case, I just hope that by making this video, you can at least recognize the traps going forward that are used and maybe not fall into them. Good luck. Or you can do what I plan to do, which is make this video, block the term on Twitter, and then ignore it for the rest of my life because I'm a white cis man, baby. I'm gonna be fine.